92-81. And here again, they're in Cotterell Court. Last year's result in the quarterfinal round, Colgate in a rout, 105-75.
Well, it was the road teams that won on the opening night. The first round games, American knocked out Holy Cross, and in an overtimer, as you said, Bucknell got by Lafayette. So here we go, a couple of the big men. Records trying to back down screen.
The Patriot League, Keegan Records with the cleanup.
Well, you've got some guys
back-to-back low post baskets, and now the game is tied at 2 points apiece.
Well, we've seen the low side of the big men getting involved as a foul called, and Coach Davis unhappy with the quick whistle, doesn't like that call at all on his point guard Xander Rice. But we've seen the post players get involved, but we also know that there's going to be a lot of scoring in this game. These are the number 1 and number 2 teams in scoring in the Patriot League this season. Colgate, the top scoring team, and Bucknell just a few points behind them per game.
That's one of the players you can ill afford to get in foul trouble if you're Bucknell. Xander Rice, one of the best players that the Bison has to offer. Missed shot, another offensive rebound for Colgate. Ryan Moffitt to Ferguson. Deep three, Tucker Richardson, no good. Screen with a box out and board.
Well, the players that they have that do get in foul trouble, Andre Screen has fouled out of 4 games this season, and Malachi Rhodes, who we will see off the bench, has also fouled out of 4 games. They have a short bench. Both of these teams play a pretty tight rotation as another point down in the blocks for Bucknell.
Looked like the pass might be a little long from Funk to Screen, but Screen got that big mid on it, able to bring it back in and score. 4-2 Bison, their first lead in the early stages. Moffitt backing down the smaller Elvin Edmonds, the fourth, and the Moffitt man drops it in.
That's a matchup right there that Coach Langle has to love to see. If Elvin Edmonds is hanging on the back of Ryan Moffitt, he can back him down all night long.
Nice drive by Elvin Edmonds, but he gets rejected.
Elvin Evans is 6'2". He thinks he might be 6'8" the way he's trying to play defense against the bigger Moffitt and try to go in against the land of the trees.
Ferguson goes into the land of Giants, and he hasn't knocked out. Last touch by Colgate. They'll bring us to our first sub of the game, and that's Ian Mota, the freshman forward from Allen, Texas.
Mota, not a big contributor, 2.5 points per ball game, grabs a rebound or 2, but certainly will give Coach Davis some minutes and help to give some of his starters a bit of a break.
Screen wasn't much of an impact last time he was here, Jeff. 2 out of 4, 6 points.
Well,
the big man already an early 4.
The one reason why is Keegan Records has had an improving defensive game, and certainly now tonight Screen's going to have to go after him.
Speaking of great defenders, there's Tucker Richardson scrapping for the loose ball. Jack Ferguson on the other end. Ferguson with the field.
Well, very late defensive rotation by Vanderheiden. Never got to the shooter. If you don't get back on Colgate in transition, the Raiders shooters will make you pay.
A near turnover by Funk.
With the exception of Records, they all have the green light to shoot from distance, and they all can hit it.
The full-bearded Sean O'Brien, assistant coach, former player for Matt Langle, was anticipating that was going to be a turnover. Bucknell lucky to save it. Screen with 5 on the shot clock, has it poked free. Here comes Colgate. Richardson back to Moffitt, back to Richardson, count the basket.
Well, I'll tell you, you watch Tucker Richardson on the break coming down the floor, the Flemington Flyer, head on a swivel, looking for someone to throw that ball to. I think that they thought maybe Moffitt would kick it back out to Cummings for the 3, but instead Richardson receives it back for the easy deuce. Great transition basketball by Colgate early going.
Left wing 3 counted for Funk.
Yeah, he can make you pay.
The Bucknell cheerleaders liking that. What an atmosphere here tonight. The Cotterell Court Crazies in full force. Bucknell traveling well as they always do. Throwback from Cummings to Moffitt. Richardson. Bang bodies, puts up with the right hand, rattles around. Tucker Richardson has been on fire. 23 points last game. Before that, career high 24 against Holy Cross.
I really like the battle that's going to shape up between Tucker Richardson and Andrew Funk, 2 of the better players in the Patriot League. Richardson, a first-team All-Patriot League selection. Funk, second-team All-Patriot League selection. Look at them go at it here at this end.
Funk zips that pass out. Vanderheiden snaps it off. Here's Funk. Bangs that one home from the left wing, and such a quick release.
Football team trying to deke Funk a little bit, faking him out on what the shot clock was really. That didn't really bother Funk, though. He is so used to it. He is 2 for 2 now from distance.
Fooled me, Jeff, but they didn't fool the person that mattered. They made me look. Here's Moffitt spinning around, in trouble, but finds Keegan underneath the basket. Records acknowledges the great pass by the Moffitt man, and the Raiders lead by 3.
Raiders are such a good passing ball club. They've assisted on 4 of the 6 made baskets here in the early going. They do that on 61% of their makes throughout the season.
Funk finally misses. He was too close in, Jeff. It was a 2-point basket.
I don't know what he's thinking. Back it up.
Ferguson pushes it. Richardson for 3 right in front of Nathan Davis. And Nathan Davis puts his head down. He knows how good the first-team All-Patriot Leaguer is.
And once again, great assist, great look. Find the open shooter. Tucker Richardson buries it. He's got 7 early points.
16-10 Raiders. What a game so far. And we're just 6 minutes and change in. Screen looking to pass. Zips it.
Off to a fast early start. 4 assists on 7 made field goals. Tucker Richardson with 7 points. Andrew Funk with 6 points to lead the Bison. Some good long-range shooting from both clubs in the early going. Exactly what you would expect from the 2 top-scoring teams in the Patriot League.
The Raiders are now the man in the Patriot League, Jeff, and everybody trying to knock them off the perch. But remember, wasn't that long ago that Bucknell was the man, and the old Ric Flair adage, to be the man, you got to beat the man, and that's who Colgate beat. First time to win their Patriot League crown, the first one since the O'Donnell Foyle years, as that baseline jumper is missed.
That's the best defense we've seen from Bucknell. In the half court that time, they changed things up just enough to force Colgate to take a shot at the end of the shot clock. It was a good look by Moffitt.
Josh Bosco in the game, so is Timmerman. He rolls to the hoop and scores with a right hand. 59% from the floor for Timmerman. That's second best in the Patriot League.
As has been the normal rotation for Coach Langle. Jeff Woodward, who scores here, and Oliver Lynch-Daniels both checking in after the first media timeout. That's been the pattern that Coach Langle has utilized so successfully this season.
Jeff Woodward looks playoff ready. It's been a no-shave November, a no-shave December, a no-shave January, and keep going and going.
He does know he's on the basketball team, right? This isn't like playoff hockey where you don't shave for the entire playoffs, right?
I think it looks darn good for number 55, the Audubon, Pennsylvania native, taking on the role of the Methacton Monster, trying to be that immovable force in the playoffs for the Colgate Raiders off the bench in place of Keegan Records.
Well, Alex Timmerman brings a big body as well. Both of these guys, I don't know if I'd want to get into an eating contest with either Woodward or Timmerman.
Off the foot, it will stay with Colgate. Xander Rice back in the game. He will give a blow to Funk. Raiders wearing the shirt No Quit before the game. That was the warm-up shirt. And even though they were the top seed in the regular season and wasn't even close, Jeff, took first place by 4 games, they know still going to take monumental focus to get the job done. Richardson misses, bats it, and unfortunately for Colgate, it goes to Malachi Rhodes of Bucknell. Xander Rice with a shake and bake, trying to feed Timmerman, cannot. Keeps it on the perimeter to Malachi Rhodes. Bosco almost loses it to Cummings. Bounces it, quarter court left to Rice. The son of King Rice will put up a 3 over Woodward. Looked like he was off balance. Somehow got it to go. It's a one-possession game, Jeff.
I was just about to say that Bucknell struggling just a little bit finding an open shooter, but to the second media timeout, they adjusted a little bit defensively, slowed Colgate down, and did a better job of protecting the basketball. Raiders right now with 5 points off of turnovers, none for the Bison, and same goes for fast break points. It's a 5-0 advantage for Colgate. Things changed a little bit, though, over that last 3 or 4 minute span. Bison did a much better job, got into their half-court set, able to score some points. They'd like to keep it that way in this half-court set if they can.
Xander Rice to screen. Screen let the defense get up, but it's still unable to convert. And then a block. Give maybe a half to Woodward, a half to Thompson. Screen not happy with it, thought he was fouled. Colgate on the other end. Wide open 3. Ferguson with the feels. Well, Jack held under 10 points last 2 games, but he certainly is feeling it in the early stages.
Just when you get a a little bit of momentum maybe swinging back your way. What does Colgate do? They get a big defensive stop with a couple of blocks, and then a dagger three comes from Ferguson.
Left side three, no good. Alvin Edmonds, the fourth, not afraid to shoot, but he's cold to start. Xander Rice way off, and Malachi Rhodes is fouled underneath with that last three. Jack Ferguson now 249 for his career, passing Tucker Neal for fourth on the list. Tucker, 248 career threes.
Well, I was fortunate to call Tucker Neal's senior season when Colgate went to Dayton, Ohio, first time ever in the NCAA tournament, lost to number one seed Kansas at the time. But Tucker Neal, just a great all-around basketball player, great human being as well.
Turnover Bucknell, so unable to take advantage of that. Sam Thompson picked up that last personal. Jeff Woodward being patient. Looking for the backdoor cutter, finds him, off glass and in for Ferguson. Jack going to the line for one.
And I believe that's the second foul on Xander Rice. As you mentioned earlier, Eric, ill afford to have him on the bench for long stretches, but that may be exactly what happens as we take a look. Great backdoor pass, great cut by Ferguson, and an easy call for the official to whistle Rice, who at the moment remains on the floor. And did they give that foul? They gave that foul to Edmonds, not Rice. So my mistake. Edmonds, the fourth, got the foul. It's his first. And Rice still with only one. So good news for Bucknell fans.
Ferguson, an 81% free throw shooter, converts the old-fashioned three-point play. Give and go between Screen and Funk. Funk, right angle jumper, no good. Vanderheiden with the offensive rebound.
Well, you got to be careful with that switching defense on Funk, because as soon as Colgate switched, Funk took advantage of that little crack and got the shot off. Didn't convert, but it was a pretty good look.
Xander Rice elevates, gets a good look, no good. Vanderheiden, two consecutive offensive rebounds, Jeff.
Rice trying to settle everybody down now on the offensive end.
Vanderheiden only averages 3.2 rebounds per game.
Well, he might get there here on this possession.
Deep three, Xander Rice reins it in. A much-needed basket for the Bison. Bucknell, they're a championship team of not too long ago. Nelly Cummings, dazzling display. Count the layup, bringing the Cotterell Court Crazies to their feet. 26-18 Colgate.
Colgate has 5 players who average in double-digit scoring. Nelly, one of them, the leader on this club.
Rice turns it over. Oliver Lynch Daniels wanted to run, but then he thought better of it. Throws it to Cummings.
Well, Bucknell doing a better job getting back defensively that time in transition. They were burned in transition early on. Coach Davis let them know they've got to get back quickly if you want to have a chance at defending Colgate in the half court.
Woodward backing down the 7-footer, trying to put it over screen, and he does.
The most methodical center I have ever witnessed. It's Jeff Woodward. He just lulls you to sleep with a couple of dribbles, backs you in, and that was a great finger roll by the big man.
First double-digit lead of the night for Colgate University. We'll be talking to athletic director Nikki Moore at halftime about some great things going on here on the Colgate University campus, and Colgate men's basketball going to get some new digs. The 3% from the floor. That's right about where Keegan is for the year, 64%. Give and go, records back to Ferguson. Ferguson with the fields. Jack can't miss. That's 3 threes for Jack, 250 for his career. He has just passed Will Raymond for third all-time at Colgate.
7-0 run for the Raiders, 4 of 5 from behind the three-point line. And here they go in the transition game again.
Turnover Bucknell. Tucker Richardson holds it, and now Colgate settles in their half-court set. Raiders up by 13. Thompson spins, puts it up with the right hand, and the Kitchener
defense. That quick 30-second timeout coming after the media timeout. 2 possessions, Raiders score on them both. They get an interior bucket, they get a three-point basket. Look, Bucknell's done a little bit better job getting back in transition, but they have not been able to stop Colgate. Raiders have so many weapons, it makes it that much more difficult.
Vanderheiden fakes the three, improves his position, misses the left angle jumper. Offensive rebound, Timmerman. Speaking of postseason honors, Nelly Cummings, Tucker Richardson, first team All-Patriot League. Deep three, Andrew Funk. He made second team All-Patriot League. Keegan Records made third team All-Patriot League. Sam Thompson catches it. A low blow, but he seems okay. He must be okay. Catches the pass from Jack Ferguson, off glass and in.
Well, he was calling for that pass for about 30 seconds, it seemed like, down in the paint. finally gets it down in there, and a couple of baskets in the early going here for Sam Thompson. He's 2 for 2 from the floor.
If Jack Ferguson feels it playing game 147, he certainly isn't showing the wear and tear, Jeff.
Well, he's the career leader in games played for the Raiders.
Looking awfully fresh out there. A foul called, and I'm not sure where, Jeff. Didn't see much contact.
You mentioned Jack Ferguson's longevity here with the Raiders here in his 5th season, the grad student from Fort Wayne, Indiana. And look, he's played all different roles for Coach Langle, and he's played all of them to perfection. Coming off the bench for his first 4 years this season, a starter all year long. This is his 32nd start. Both he and Tucker Richardson started every game this season for Colgate, and he has done everything that has been asked of him in the Colgate uniform. That's Jack Ferguson.
Colgate up by 17. Funk misses the 3. And this is a formidable hole to dig out for Bucknell. Ferguson finds Richardson because, remember, they played Tuesday, an overtime game, had to travel to Lafayette. Granted, Easton, Pennsylvania, only about 2 hours away from Lewisburg, but still, Jeff, and now they had to make the trek to Hamilton. High arcing 3 by Richardson, right wing, no good.
Well, that was probably the worst shot we've seen all night, and the only bad-looking shot from a Colgate Raider.
So you have to question Bucknell, how much do they have left in the tank if they have to mount a big comeback here? Timmerman off glass and in, and they have a rather short rotation, sort of like Colgate, Jeff. They don't have an awfully deep bench.
No, they really only go 8 or 9.
Thompson banging bodies with Timmerman. Sam Thompson, 6 points. Not only that, but a polished low post game, Jeff.
Electrifying from Sam Thompson. Sometimes it seems as if maybe he's not as aggressive as he could be. Not the case tonight, though.
Timmerman open, says, why not take the 3? Timmerman makes the 3, only his 4th triple of the season.
You know, they always say that Canadians, they're so nice and everything. You got to have a little mean in you, though, if you're a post player. Maybe that's what's going on with Sam Thompson tonight. Leaving the Canadian north of the border and bringing the aggression.
His career high, 9 points against Monmouth.
Great move.
Richardson, a great zigzag passing. Richardson and Thompson over the records. Finally a foul called against Bucknell. Moffitt and Cummings will come in. Malachi Rhodes.
Sam Thompson going to get a great hand as he comes to the bench for the minutes that he just gave Coach Langle and the Raiders.
Well deserved, Jeff. Timmerman's first 3 since the Lafayette game a couple of weeks back. Pass down low, Moffitt. Nice spin pass, Rhodes, no good. Records tries to keep it alive, cannot. Colgate sweeping the season series against the Bison, winning by 19 in Lewisburg, 75-56. And then no problems here in Hamilton. Timmerman slides down. He's having a good game, at least in the first half, Jeff. Colgate winning here with ease, 83-69.
Nice little pocket pass and an aggressive move. Well, what Bucknell needs now is stops. They have had no answer at this end of the floor for Colgate.
37-25 Raiders. Ferguson, step back 3, it's good! Jack jolts it home.
And when I say they've had no answer at this end of the floor, I mean they really have had no answer for Jack Ferguson. 15 points for Ferguson here in the early going, 4 for 4 from behind the three-point line.
Career 3, 251. Great strip by Ryan Moffitt. Colgate looking to run. Richardson to Cummings. Spot up 3, no good. Funk ahead to Rice, one-on-one against Richardson. Rice puts it up, curves it in. Nice body control by number 21 of Bucknell, 40-27 Colgate. Screen to come back into the game, next dead ball. We have one more media timeout awaiting us, Jeff. Richardson bounces it to Records. Timmerman going for the steal, couldn't quite get there.
Obviously a lot of time left, but if you're Bucknell, you want to at least keep contact with the Raiders before you head to the locker room.
Ferguson finally misses a 3, Jeff. I think that was his first miss.
First miss from 3. He was 4 for 4 from distance prior to that attempt.
Here's Xander Rice, gets the 3.
And a chance at completing a 4-point play here for Xander Rice as he toes the free throw line.
Best free throw shooter in the Patriot League, statistically speaking, Jeff, 88%. He has shot 138 free throws this season, 122 makes.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Not too bad. He now gets a break, and he is listed with 2 personal fouls. So not sure how much Coach Davis wants him out on the floor here, at least on the defensive end in this final 2:45 of the half.
Nelly Cummings with a fake pass, and let's see what the call is.
You see Xander Rice on the sideline saying it's on the floor, not a shooting foul, and I think he's probably right.
Officiating crew, Nathan Farrell, Nathan Hall, and Ed Corliss. So pretty good chance Nathan made the call there.
Yeah.
Could have been Ed.
Jake Vanderheiden was assessed the personal foul. It's his first.
Cummings finds Ferguson. Ferguson slides in, baseline, off glass, and in.
It's a veteran move by Ferguson to get himself just enough space to get the shot up over the freshman Edmonds.
Jack Ferguson with 17 points. Andre's screen will shovel to Funk. Funk with the orange sneaks. A steal by Cummings. Cummings against Bosco. Misses, but he was fouled in the process.
I'll tell you, that's like a defensive back just baiting the quarterback to throw the ball into that open space so you can jump the route. That's exactly what Nelly Cummings did, and then he took it down, got fouled, and landed into the crowd where the football players from Colgate University are all hanging out under the basket.
Personal foul against Bosco, first, team sixth.
Coach Davis having some words for the officiating crew. Not sure if it's a different call. I don't suppose it was this particular call because it looked pretty obvious what happened here.
Nelly Cummings, third best in the Patriot League, 82%.
Yeah, I mean, we got good free throw shooters on both sides here tonight between Bucknell and Colgate.
43-31.
I mean, Edmonds is smaller sample size, but the freshman from Holtville, Virginia shoots 90% from the floor, or from the foul line, excuse me.
Cummings misses the second, knew it, Jeff. Tried to run after it, but screen gobbled it up immediately.
Now, how does the Bison close out this half? That's the question.
They would love if they could get into single digits. Jack Ferguson affecting the screen shot. Woodward in the front, Ferguson in the back. And a tie up there between Cummings and Edmonds the fourth.
I know that Jack, his offense has been prolific here in the first half, but he'll be talking about how at 6'3" he got up and helped block the shot of a 7-footer.
Yeah, deceivingly, if you look at Jack's stats, you look at the three-point shots, and you look at some other stats first, but he has 12 blocks on the season. That's not bad for a guard, Jeff.
No, not at all. But not many of them were against the 7-footer.
Woodward with a fake, slides in, can't get it to go, but faking out the defense. And who's that call on? Is it Xander Rice? Rice didn't expect that move from the big man. And what a move by the Methacton monster, Xander Rice with his third foul.
And this is the mistake. Coach Davis puts him out on the floor with 2 personal fouls. What are you going to gain from that at this point in this half? Now he's got 3, and that really will hamper his game in the second half.
1:49 to go in the first half.
I mean Rice is having a conversation with Coach Davis, and Coach Davis is giving him the walk away from me now if you're wise kind of look.
Woodward, a 50% free throw shooter, misses the first.
I mean, the damage isn't that Woodward's going to score 2 at the free throw line now. The damage is that you've got your starting point guard on the bench with 3 fouls, and that's how he'll start the second half.
And he's shooting the ball well, Jeff, 11 points.
Yeah.
3 out of 4 from Tripletown. Second free throw is good by Woodward. 44-31, and like you said, Jeff, if you play your cards right, a foul that easily avoidable. Clutching the basketball at his left hip, Alvin Edmonds the fourth. Assistant coach Pat Moore getting up, barking out defensive instructions. A foul way out top on the hedge by Woodward.
Now, very little contact there, but Jeff Woodward is whistled for the foul.
Remember, athletic director Nikki Moore coming up at the half.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about how we're spending money here on the Colgate campus.
Oh, did you get that stipend finally?
When I say we, I don't mean you and I.
I was getting worried there. I was checking my pockets.
No.
Nothing's in there, Jeff. Just kidding. Funk behind the back dribble, in and out. Tucker Richardson with the rebound. How many rebounds does Richardson have? 65 seconds left to go in the first half.
Not a lot. He's been active, but just 2 rebounds.
Moffitt for 3, of course. He had 5 threes in the first encounter against Bucknell, 6 the last time, Jeff. So you knew the Moffitt man had to get in the act from Tripletown. Puts one in right in front of the Bucknell bench. 16-point Colgate lead.
Balanced scoring for Colgate with the exception of with Jack Ferguson's 17 points.
47-31.
Tucker Richardson had the early 7 points, and he's been stuck on that number since the start of the ball game. But Jack Ferguson has shouldered the load at the offensive end. Look at Coach Lango.
The 3-time Patriot League Coach of the Year down and dirty, wiping up a wet spot there right in front of the bench.
Is that once you become the winningest coach at the university, you still have to mop up the floor, I guess, don't you?
Edmonds, the 4th, will trigger into Vanderheiden. Moda to Screen. Screen will bounce it to Vanderheiden, elevates and hits.
They're going to need a little bit more of that from Vanderheiden. Not a big scorer, but a streaky scorer and a solid 3-point shooter as well. And they're going to need a little bit more of that if they want to get back into this ball game in the second half.
47-34, shot clock is off. Colgate can hold for 1, and they will hold for 1. Nelly Cummings backing down Edmonds, the 4th. He's got 3 seconds right inside the 3-point arc. No good.
Jack Ferguson not featured in the highlights, but featured plenty in live action. He leads all scorers with 17 points. Xander Rice has a dozen to lead Bucknell. He also has 3 personal fouls. And one stat that you want to look at in that first half, turnovers, as Rice tries to get things going and cannot. 8 turnovers for Bucknell, just 1 for Colgate. And the Raiders turned those turnovers into 13 points. What's the difference on the scoreboard? Yeah, 13 points.
Good-looking jumper from the outer edge of the foul circle. Couldn't get it to go, though, for Xander Rice. Only his 3rd miss of the evening. Keegan Records will run past Screen and now stop. Left low block. Pops it out to Cummings. Screen set on Funk by Records, and Nelly nails it from the left wing. That is the first triple of the night by Nelly.
And Nelly Cummings, quiet scoring first half. Had just 3 points, but you can't keep the senior down for too long. Each one of Colgate's starters averaging in double-digit scoring during the regular season, and right now they are well on the way to getting a few more into the double-digit area here tonight.
Xander Rice looking to throw back the Screen. He does. Jack Ferguson helping Keegan Records. Now back out deep. 3, Funk, no good. Moffitt and Vanderheiden fighting for the loose ball. It will stay with Bucknell.
Despite the protests from the Colgate football players that have packed the stands under the basket, they can't believe the call, and guess what? They're going to let Bucknell know about it here as they try to get the ball in bounds.
Back to the Army Lehigh score, Jeff, as that ball is thrown into Screen. That will be the opponent of whoever wins here tonight.
Yeah, and right now,
Screen turns around, throws it in with the right hand, and Screen will go to the free throw line, trying to cash in and on an old-fashioned 3-point play.
Right now, Lehigh with a 42-33 lead. Lehigh, one of only 2 teams in the Patriot League that were able to beat Colgate.
61% free throw shooter for the season.
Really, when you look at it, though, Colgate's season, it took a complete Raider 180 at the New Year mark.
Screen a little too strong on that one as one of the football players doing a little bit of a belly roll to try to distract Screen.
That is a distracting maneuver.
Jack Ferguson loses it from behind. Xander Rice, one-on-one, did not want to be called for the charge in his 4th foul. Vanderheiden for 3, pops out halfway down. Bad luck for number 32.
Well, we mentioned it briefly when Rice picked up that 3rd foul, but this takes the aggression right out of your point guard.
Nelly Cummings, the stop and pop from the high elbow right side. And that is something Bucknell could not afford, is for Nelly Cummings to get hot. Jack Ferguson and Richardson already hot.
I mean, look, Rice can't be aggressive on the offensive end. He certainly can't be aggressive right here.
Cummings goes by Rice. And Cummings, I don't know if he realized that Rice was just going to kind of do the Ole move, Jeff. Cummings had a wide open layup and he missed it again. I think he thought Rice was going to contest it.
He did.
Screen on the other end. Records standing strong. Misses the shot. Here comes Colgate. Ryan Moffitt spins, bounces it to Records. Lots of contact, no whistle. And here comes the Bison.
Wow, Keegan looking for whistles from the left and the right, didn't get one.
Rice cradles it, switches late tournament, and Coach Langle, he's well aware, one game at a time. And so far, they've had that focus in the quarterfinal round.
Well, not only is Coach Langle well aware of that, but so is this veteran roster. I mean, these guys have played together now, some of them for 4 years.
Jack Ferguson will bounce it to Ryan Moffitt. Ferguson back to Nellie Cummings. The juke and jive blocked by Edmonds the fourth.
I mean, Colgate only has one freshman on their roster, Nicholas Louis Jacques. He's made 17 appearances, but has played a bit role and has really not seen a lot of floor time down the stretch here for Colgate.
11 seconds on the shot clock. Assistant coach Dave Klatsky gets up with some offensive encouragement. Records catches it back to Ferguson, back to Records. What a perfectly designed play. Keegan with a two-handed slam. Spin the Records, and the Raiders lead 54-38.
You take a look at this great pass by Ferguson to Records for the easy dump down. Out of bounds plays. Colgate has a lot of them on their play sheet, and they run them all to perfection.
Rice steps past Cummings for three, no good. Richardson times the jump perfectly for the rebound. Richardson backdoor pass. Ryan Moffitt off glass and in. Looking too easy now for the Raiders. They currently lead 56-38.
Colgate continuing to run their multiple looks offensively. Great passing, great movement without the basketball, and it's led to a couple of easy baskets here in the second half.
Moffitt going for the steal against Vanderheiden. Vanderheiden gets past Moffitt, but Records there with a help defense. Cummings throw back to Moffitt. Moffitt to Ferguson. Ferguson with the fields, and the Raiders their biggest lead of the game.
7-0 run for the Raiders, forcing Coach Nathan Davis to call a timeout. Jack Ferguson now with 20 points on the evening. And on that play, Colgate got the assist. That's their 15th tonight. This means this is the 22nd game this season where they've had at least 15 assists. Great ball sharing, great passing in transition, and that's helped Colgate break out to this huge lead.
Ferguson goes down for a second, took him a second to get up. Then well after that on the near side, the three ball by Alvin Edmonds the fourth, his first basket of the game, Jeff. 59-41 Colgate. The shooting astounding for the Raiders. 61% from the floor, 8 out of 12 from Tripletown. Turnover Colgate. Here goes Alvin Edmonds the fourth. He liked the first bucket so much, why not get another one? And just all of a sudden, Jeff, 59-43 Colgate with under 15 to go.
Those are the first Bison points coming off of a Colgate turnover. Raiders had led 13-0 in that category prior to that move.
Touch pass, Ferguson to Richardson. Richardson, no look, coming straight away. Nelly nails it, and the Raiders get the momentum right back.
Yeah, once again, how do they do it on offense? Great ball movement. There's always a shooter whose hands it's going to wind up in, and boom, there's an easy three.
Funk trying to swerve and curve his way inside the lane, could not get it. Quick shot by Malachi Rhodes. Rhodes hits. 62-46. Bucknell will not go away.
First points of the night for Malachi Rhodes. Really like the look, though, of this junior from Marietta, Georgia. Not a big scorer, has a great basketball body, though.
Fifth triple of the season for Malachi. Jack Ferguson drives by Malachi, switches to the right hand, and number 13 gets it to go.
Maybe they forgot that Jack can do a little bit more than just shoot threes this season. 22 points now for Ferguson.
Xander Rice with a hesitation dribble. Now Bucknell will back it out, reset the offense. Funk to Rice. Nelly steps in. Lots of contact, no whistle. Rice drills it. Rice wanted a whistle. 64-49. Remember, Rice already made one 4-point play, Jeff.
Yeah, and he dodged the bullet there because that could have very easily been an offensive foul on his fourth on the night.
Xander Rice will be back, Jeff. It's hard to know exactly who will be back with the COVID year kind of still looming.
Well, the only senior on the roster for Bucknell is a scrum on the floor. The only senior on the roster is Andrew Funk.
Richardson over to Cummings. Cummings with the shot clock winding down right in front of the Colgate bench. Nelly nails the long two.
Well, I'll tell you, when things are going your way, they just keep on rolling that direction. Nelly Cummings now with 13 points.
It's getting hot in here for number 0 as Funk misses on the other end, and Jack Ferguson directs traffic. Moffitt will come over, set the screen. Ferguson thinking about the deep three. Now he'll drive. Pass down low to Records. Records switches over to the other side and scores.
The complete night for Jack Ferguson continuing. 22 points, 3 rebounds. He's got 5 assists and a block shot on a 7-footer too.
Down low to Timmerman. He'll swerve it around. Baseline J by Edmonds. The fourth is good.
Bucknell silencing the crowd, or at least quieting the crowd for a moment. Every time they've done that, Colgate's had an answer.
Moffitt shifts gears. Now Ferguson, another 3.
Yeah.
Ferguson with the feels.
And invariably, the answers come from number 13, who now has 25 on the night.
Right now, Jeff, Raiders in a rout, 71-51 currently. Still a lot of basketball to go, though.
Bucknell's 5 for their last 6 from the field. You'd say that sounds great, right? Except Colgate's 8 for their last 8 from the field. So, you know.
Timmerman turnaround jumper. Woodward clutches the basketball.
I mean, the Bison can shoot the ball well, that's fine. But Colgate is shooting it at an upper level, and there's just no slowing them down right now. You've got to get a stop or, several if you're Bucknell to try and make this a ball game.
Well, Jack Ferguson's on the bench. Bucknell should be pouring buckets of water on him, trying to cool him down. He's tied his career high at 25, Jeff. Woodward spins, puts it up and in with a left hand. 7 points for the big man from Pennsylvania.
Oliver Lynch-Daniels back out on the floor for Colgate. He is the only Raider who has played tonight that has not scored, has not taken a shot yet.
Moffitt goes down. What's the call here,
I don't know,
Jeff?
whistle came very late.
I think they call it against Moffitt. Here comes the A-plus sweeping event staff crew here at Colgate.
And then take a look here. Moffitt took the elbow, and
yeesh.
He took the elbow and he took the whistle. I'm not quite sure what. I mean, I know.
Certainly no flop there,
I was going
Jeff.
to say, one of the points of emphasis in the NCAA this year is to try and get flops out of the ball game. And if that was a flop, that was an amazing acting job, and the official is a heck of a critic to pick that up, because that looked like there was plenty of contact there with that elbow.
I mean, we did have the advantage of taking another look, Nelly Cummings, but the officials have that same advantage, and they did not take another look.
Did not.
The missed shot by Nelly, 73-53.
That's the small story, but the big picture, Colgate's up by 20 right now.
But there was no foul put up on the board here, Jeff. His screen misses. The outlet to Cummings, a little too long. Cummings saves it over his head. Ball's loose. Xander Rice has it for the orange and blue of Bucknell. Xander Rice loses it to Oliver Lynch-Daniels. Screen gets it. No one can secure the rock. Here is Vander Heiden, puts it in from Tripletown.
Much needed basket from Vander Heiden, the junior from Raleigh, North Carolina. Solid from 3, 14 of 25 from distance in his last 8 ball games. Doesn't shoot a ton of them, but he's been very consistent with them.
Woodward finds Thompson for the two-handed slam.
One of the best passing big men in the Patriot League is Jeff Woodward, and he and Thompson playing a nice little two-man ball game in the paint as you see the slam by Thompson.
The Colgate fan base in Kitchener, Waterloo, Ontario going crazy right now as Thompson has 8.
4 for 4 from the field tonight for Sam Thompson.
One more bucket, he'll have a career high, first ever time in double digits.
Now, if you add the distance up of all those baskets, you probably got about 5 feet worth of basket shots. But
Lynch-Daniels is trying to feed Thompson, saying his pass was deflected. Thompson going to feast on that new career high as Nelly Cummings will be subbed out for Jack Ferguson. One more point from Jack, and he'll have a new career high.
Jack Ferguson has been on cruise control.
Off road after ousting Lafayette in Easton, Pennsylvania. Time had to make the trek to Hamilton. Jack Ferguson, a new career high. Jack jolts it in from the right wing. Ferguson has 28
You
points.
talk about calm, cool, collected. Jack Ferguson just backpedals back down the floor to get set for some defense now with 28 points on the night.
Thompson grabs the turnover. Ferguson looking for 30. Passes back to Richardson. Woodward to Richardson to Thompson. Thompson hesitates. Reverse layup is blocked by Screen.
Oh, the rim got in the way, and then so did Screen's big mitt.
Funk off glass and in. Bucknell shaves the lead to 20. This is the kind of win the number 1 seed is looking for in the quarterfinal round. Trying to breeze by Jeff, so they have plenty of energy for the semifinals come Sunday. Richardson accelerates and scores on the near baseline. 80-58 Colgate. Colgate will be playing, if they survive, Jeff, if they continue to coast, they'll be playing either Lehigh or Army come Sunday.
Well, it's rare this week, right? Colgate didn't have to play a Monday ball game for the first time in a month.
Fresh legs. Jeff Vanderheiden misses the 3.
I wasn't sure if maybe they might be rusty, right? Coming out after not playing 3 games in a week like they have been playing due to the way their schedule shook out. COVID issues amongst their opponents forced some early season cancellations, postponements as Ferguson dribbles it off his foot.
Bosco stops, shovels it to Vanderheiden. Hip to hip with Woodward. Blocked by Thompson. Woodward will push it to Oliver Lynch Daniels. I know the players aren't looking ahead, Jeff, but as broadcasters, we can. What's going on in the Army-Lehigh game as Woodward will shove it over to number 15, Tucker Richardson.
Lehigh has taken command now. Not the command that Colgate has right here as Woodward finishes down on the low blocks. Lehigh leading Army 60-47 with 13-14 left to go in that one. The other games in the Patriot League right now going as expected. Navy's up on American 52-38 and Boston leads Loyola 57-44. So all of the preferred seeds, all of the team, a lot of that coming from the grad student Jack Ferguson, who is 7 of 8 from distance, 28 points, a new career high for the Fort Wayne, Indiana graduate student tonight.
Left side 3, no good. Woodward clutches the rebound. Here's Woodward. Jack has it stripped on his way to the basket, looking for point 30. Woodward blocks it, just takes it away from Edmonds, the 4th.
Yeah, Colgate's defense has taken it up a notch here tonight. Bucknell has gone 2 minutes without scoring.
Over Lynch Daniels to Woodward.
OLD, the Lone Raider, who has played tonight, not in the scoring column.
Lynch Daniels tries to loft it to Woodward. Can't get it there.
A little too fine. The window just closed up too quickly there.
Funk off glass and in.
Yeah, look, Colgate's well up in this ball game, in control, but you don't want to allow Bucknell to have any feeling like they might be able to get back into this one. Nellie Cummings and Keegan Records are at the scorer's table for Coach Langle, set to check back in.
What a job Coach Langle has done. All-time winningest coach in men's basketball history, but that doesn't do it justice, Jeff, what he has built this program into. Oliver Lynch Daniels straightaway 3. He's in the scoring column now. The most accurate three-point shooter in the Patriot League gets it done from the top of the key.
Well, you know, he hadn't scored because he hadn't shot the ball yet. As soon as he does, you know he's going to make one. That's his first shot attempt of the night.
Missed shot from down low by Bucknell. The Raiders won 105-75 last year. That set the Patriot League postseason record for a semifinal game, Jeff, as Woodward puts on the deck with the right hand. Gives it to Oliver Lynch Daniels, thought about second 3 instead. No look, bounce pass to Woodward. Woodward walks in for the layup.
Jeff Woodward, not a bad night for him either. Look at his line, 11 points, 5 for 5 now from the floor. The only shot he missed was a free throw. I'll give him a pass on that.
Down low to Timmerman. Woodward not only getting it done on the offensive end, doing a great job defensively as well.
It's become a real struggle for the Bison now. 1 for their last 7 from the floor. Meanwhile, Colgate continuing to fill it up.
Woodward, throw back to Jack Ferguson. Ferguson, I think, itching for that 30-point total. Although he probably doesn't know what his point total is right now as Richardson tries to put it up. The expiring shot clock.
We're always a little bit suspect of players and coaches who say they don't know about certain milestones. I have a feeling that Jack, maybe he doesn't know that he's got 28, but he certainly knows he's having himself a pretty good ball game tonight.
Woodward out, Richardson out.
Full stat sheet for Jack, too. He is the leading rebounder right now with 6, and he is 5 assists, 1 behind Tucker Richardson.
Plenty of basketball could still be played at Cotterell Court in Hamilton. Jeff Funk, deep 3. That kid is good, Jeff.
Yeah, such a quick release, as you mentioned earlier, Eric. Now 13 points on the night, but maybe just a little bit too little too late for Andrew Funk.
3 triples for Funk, and does he really have a range, Jeff?
No.
He's certainly on that side of the court. He certainly puts it up from anywhere and seems comfortable doing it. Nellie Cummings with 9 on the shot clock. Colgate, Hamilton, New York.
Well, Colgate shot 61% from the field in the first half, and you say to yourself, yeah, how can you get any better than that? Well, how about the second half when they've shot 77% from the field, 68% for the ball game, and that'll bump the percentage up right there as Keegan Records with the big flush.
Records rams it home with a two-handed slam, assisted by Moffitt. Ryan Moffitt, 4 assists, 0 turnovers. And now Keegan Records, the fourth rater in double digits. Woodward off the bench with 11. Xander Rice shaken up on the other end. Nellie Cummings scores with a scoop. He has 15, Jeff.
I tell you, Nellie Cummings has 15 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds, and it couldn't have been a quieter night for Nellie, but anytime you need a little scoring for him, and there's another block by Ferguson.
Ferguson can jump. Now I think his jersey number matches his block total for the season at 13.
Maybe that's a steal, not a block. We'll see how they score that. I don't know if he was actually in the act of shooting or not, but either way, it's a turnover against Bucknell and a theft for Colgate.
Nellie Cummings to Moffitt. Moffitt guarded by Edmonds, the 4th. Lynch Daniels, left wing 3. It's good over the extended hand of Funk. 94-63. Colgate beat Bucknell last year in the tournament, 105-75. We're looking at a similar score here.
A grad student, 28 points, 10 of 12 from the field, 7 of 8 from three-point land.
Pass down low, Bosco off glass and in. 94-65. Oliver Lynch Daniels, Blake Henry takes it to the rack, tries the up and under, slips. And here comes Bucknell.
Ferguson was credited for 2 blocks on the night as well.
So he doesn't have time to stay at his jersey number. He's at 14. Speaking of blocks, there's the Blake block. Down low on the 7-footer. Zach Light tries to scoop it home. Cannot. The Cotterell Court crazies were about to erupt. Blake Henry's first block of the season. Turnover, Bucknell. Louis Jacques, the freshman. Blake Henry off glass and in. He can score from down low as well. That's his 3rd field goal of the season.
Oh, come on, Blake. Give the fans what they want. Give them the 3-ball.
Sophomore guard from Bellflower, California. Josh Ado into the game.
17th appearance of the season for the sophomore Ado.
Looks like Colgate will fall just short of the century mark, Jeff. Unless they press it here.
Well, the other stat to keep in mind here, as the foul committed underneath, Big Blake called for the foul on the attempted block on screen. Colgate this season, 17-0 when its opponent scores less than 70. And right now, Bucknell sitting at 65. Raiders held their opponents to less than 70 in 14 conference contests this season, and obviously they went 14-0 in those games.
Blake Henry getting his money's worth, having a discussion with the official. And the official's keeping the focus throughout the game, telling Andre to tuck in his jersey at the foul line.
You look back at December, start of January for Colgate. 5 straight losses, including the Patriot League opener on the road at Lehigh, 85-81. I don't know what happened at that point, and I'm not saying that period of time was indicative of what this Colgate team was about, but from that point on, Colgate winners in 16 of 17 ball games. The only loss was on the road at Boston. It was a complete Raider 180 from that point on.
Andre Screen misses the second one.
And you add in tonight, it'll be 17 of 18 for Colgate. Only one loss here at home this season. They're 12-1 at the Cotterell court floor. They came against Niagara back on November 29th.
Louis Jacques, nice step back, can't hit it. If the score stays, Jeff, would be the same point margin as a year ago when they beat Bucknell by 30 in the Patriot League tournament. But Bosco has other thoughts, making it a 28-point game, and now the shot clock is off. Stay tuned for the post-game show. Colgate punching their ticket into the semifinal round, where they will play either Lehigh or Army, the top seed, coasting into the Patriot League semifinals. The Raiders romping and stomping to a 96-68 victory. We'll talk to Matt Langle after this timeout.